Boys,
Gotta.
reacting to a video 5 years old, I know we're not with the times. We're back. Zach and Token. Redhead's still fucking gone, but you know, this was all planned before. I promise. You guys are gonna call me a dickhead in the comments. It happens. This video needed to be on the channel, obviously. And I think getting a different perspective other than Mr. Ippo with ginger hair on this might be a good idea. So we might be in a better place now, but yeah. Token, how the fuck are you?
Dude, chilling, relaxing, ready to watch some content. Couldn't be any more ready.
Make sure to check out HelloFresh. If you motherfuckers aren't watching the podcast and up to date with all the new sponsors and everything, we might have new sponsors with a contract that's coming tomorrow, but you guys won't know that until I post about it. So, check out HelloFresh. They got a coupon code in the fucking image or on the podcast or in the description down below. Make sure to go check out that shit. Helps you guys make sure you're not starving, and I'm not racist by Joyner Lucas.
With all due respect, I don't have pity for you black niggas. That's the way I feel. Screaming Black Lives Matter, all the black guys rather be deadbeats than pay your bills. Yelling nigga this and nigga that. Call everybody nigga and get a nigga mad. As soon as I say nigga, then everyone react and wanna swing at me and call me racist cause I ain't black. Well, pound that then. Talking about slavery like you was around back then. Like you was picking cotton off the fucking ground back then. Like you was on the plantation getting down back then. Alright, look. I see a black man aiming his gun, but I'd rather see a black man claiming his son. And I don't mean just for one day and you done. I mean, you still trapped in a rut. And I work my ass off and pay my taxes for what? So you can keep living off free government assistance, food stamps for your children, but you still trying to sell them for some weed and some liquor or
I do want to pause it before it starts going crazy.
Yeah, it's about to get really good.
So at first, I thought that was his voice because I didn't know who Joyner was at all. Because this was the first song I ever found of his.
Okay, that definitely paints. Yeah, it's a good song to start with.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no, obviously, 149 million views. There's no way in hell that this wasn't a lot of people's first Joyner Lucas experience, honestly. And obviously, you guys are gonna know my opinion across the entire song. I like that this is his biggest song. I do because it paints both sides and both ideologies pretty well. But I think
Dude,
that point right there. Now, anybody who hasn't listened to the podcast, I grew up in a city. That was 50-50. This is shit I saw. Most black families didn't have a dad in the home, or it was a stepdad that nobody really gave a fuck to listen to. There wasn't that male role model.
What I like personally about this video, especially remembering the first time that I watched it, is that it basically portrays a picture and paints. It gives you some information that you couldn't, you can't have this conversation with your average person. Your average person would start freaking out when you start bringing up some of these points, claiming this, that, labeling you one way or the other. But once it's in a music video, now it's just a piece of content that everyone can absorb. And I like that it kind of levels the playing field, lets everyone sit back and sees what's going on from each perspective.
The thing that I wish is saying that both points are salient and understandable should not be racist in any way. Both of them make fantastic fucking points, which is why this song was so masterfully created. Joyner understood both sides. You can see
and
that.
Especially, yeah, look at the landscape 5 years ago.
Look at the landscape now. It's worse.
Yes and no, but yeah. Again,
like, the sides have spread so far.
Everything was highly politicized and BLM and this and that, and this is a type of song that was needed at the time. It came in at a perfect time. There's a reason it's 150 million.
This song, I'm not gonna say it divided people more because I don't think it did. Let me not say that. I don't think
of great question.
I don't think it aided the situation though. I don't think it brought people back together because whatever side you were on, you saw your side and you didn't see both. Because I don't think many people are as open-minded as me or you. They're going to be very, very close-minded in those situations.
For sure. 150 million people didn't go home being a little less racist or thinking about these things. But no,
exactly.
It wasn't for everyone. It was for the minority of people that can absorb what this is. And this is just it's two different
salient
stories being
points
played in front of
looking
you.
at
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
exact thing. Like, I don't know if it's just my upbringing or not, but like I see it and I understand it, and it's so frustrating when people use this in a derogatory side towards either side, because it's like, no, they're saying exactly what goes on and what people see. It's not being racist to point out what you see or what you expect to deal with in that situation. It's just saying what happens.
Fucking babysitter while you party on the road cause you ain't got no fucking goals. You already late. You motherfuckers need to get your damn priorities straight. Wait. It's like you proud to be fake, but you lazy as fuck. And you rather sell drugs and get a job and be straight. And then you turn around and complain about the poverty rate. Fuck out of my face. You can't escape problems. You can pray for some change, but can't break a dollar. Got nobody else to blame, so you blame Donald. They fucked the world with a Make America Great condom. My boy's been back. I'm not racist. My sister's boyfriend's black. I'm not racist. My sister-in-law's baby cousin Tracy.
And
I
that
love that. I'm not racist. I know a black person. I have a black friend. There's one black person I care about.
that one line though is
Mhm.
so poignant,
But
and
that plays
most
off
people don't
that,
understand that. The line right
that plays
before
off the
that.
point. Yeah, it plays off the point that you were just making too. Like it didn't necessarily make everyone come together. It did definitely kept people on their sides of the fence,
Yeah.
and that's one of those terms. Like people that have, just general prejudices for people who of other races will say stuff like that. Well,
Oh,
I have a black
absolutely.
friend. I can't be racist. Like, no, that's not how it works.
But the line before that, oh, I'm gonna fuck the world with America Great Again condom. We had everybody in BLM riots throwing American flags and they were walking across them.
Dude, I'm in Canada and there were BLM riots in my downtown and they were smashing storefronts and stuff like that. Dude,
But
that's ridiculous.
there's no reason, none.
No, absolutely none. Dude, I grew up in a multicultural city. There was no minorities in my school growing up. There was a third white people, a third brown people,
Yeah,
and a third black people.
exactly, man. Like, honestly, yes, I understand that there's going to be individuals that are pieces of shit that don't understand the poignant point that you might have a different life. But I have a different life, just like you have a different life, just like Ippo has a different life, just like Drap has a different life. Everybody has a
You're gonna have to-
different.
One second.
Yeah. Everybody has a different aspect in life that most people don't understand. And if you begin to understand those points in life, then you can actually become enlightened enough to understand what the fuck is going on. Like there's absolutely no reason for you to just automatically determine what the fuck somebody's doing because of what the hell they're dealing with. Like there's no fucking reason at all.
Amen. That's the definition of prejudice.
I know. But
Prejudgment. You're just assuming things.
everybody wants to say because I'm white, I'm rich and guaranteed to make things. I promise you. I've only made this shit because I've worked my fucking ass off.
He got a brother and his girlfriend's black. My head's in the cloud. Heard there's not enough jobs for all the men in your house. Maybe we should build a wall to keep the Mexicans out. Or maybe we should send them all to the ghetto for now. I'm not racist. And I never lied, but I think there's a disconnect between your culture and mine. I worship the Einsteins, studied the Steve Jobs, but you ride Tupac's dick like he was a fucking god. Oh my god. And all you care about is rapping and stunting and being.
Most people won't get that point either. The whole you're riding Tupac's dick shit. Like when you glorify somebody who is a gangbanger, just like if white guys glorify somebody like Donald Trump or Jeff Bezos that's been a piece of shit in their life.
It was what was sold to an entire generation, dude.
That's the
Gangster
point.
Rap.
Like you being a gangster isn't a fucking good thing. Just
Yeah,
like
and it's
somebody
not
following Donald Trump being a piece of shit isn't a good fucking thing. Like
absolutely.
understand, man. Like what the fuck? Like why is
It's
that
not
fucked
just
up?
black people that will fall, but
No,
I love how it's
exactly.
made it in a way that it's black people falling for that. Well, no, think about
Everybody did.
everything from the 50s and the 60s. Every movie you'd go to, there's dudes
Gangster
smacking
shit.
their wives around, and
Yeah.
people were smacking their wives around.
You
That was
have
a white
you have
people problem.
alcoholics, you have all of the gangsters for the Italians, and the Irish people. You have all the fighters and the bar brawlers. Like, understand there's a negative in every single fucking community, but you have to change that to pull yourself out of it. People like Chris Brown didn't become Chris Brown because they didn't watch the content that was portrayed for them. You become a woman beater, you become a violent person because you're around violence. Like, understand where the fuck it comes from.
Everyone's a product of their own environment.
Exactly.
Ratchet, and that's the nigga within
Play
you.
that.
Music rot in your brain and slowly start to convince you. Then you let your kids listen, and then the cycle continues. Blame it all on the menu, blame it on those drinks, blame it on everybody except for your own race. Blame it on white privileges, blame it on white kids, and just blame it on white citizens. Aim at the vice president. Bunch of class clowns. Niggas kneeling on the field, that's a flag down. How dare you try to make demands for this money? You gon' show us some respect, you gon' stand for this country, nigga. I'm not racist.
Hard R.
I'm just
Yeah,
prepared
that
for
was a
this
hard
type
one.
of war. I heard Eminem's rap at the awards. Who's he fighting for? Y'all can take that motherfucker too. He ain't white no more. It's like you wanna be so famous. You'll do anything for attention and a little payment. I can't take you nowhere without people pointing fingers. Pants hanging off your ass. You ain't got no home training. Put your fucking pants up, nigga. Put that suit back on. Take that do-rag off. Take that gold out your mouth. Quit the pitiful stuff. And then maybe police will stop killing you fucks. Yo, what the fuck? I'm not racist. It's like we're living in the same building but split into 2 floors. I'm not racist. But there's 2 sides to every story. I wish that I knew yours.
Okay. That entire segment right there, everything that he just said, this doesn't even need to be racial. He could literally have his nephew Ethan sitting there dressed as a wigger with a do-rag, and everything he said would be just as applicable in the situation. You know, it's a problem, dude. It's not a race problem. It's a fucking like
Society problem.
It's a class problem, dude.
Yeah.
It's rich versus poor. Don't ever let them tell you that it's blacks and whites and the Mexicans are ruining it for all of us. Like, no, we're all being oppressed by billionaires. It is what it is.
I'm gonna judge for a second here. That dude works maybe lower management at a manufacturing factory, and he decided that Donald Trump was the better candidate because it supported his wants and needs. Just like lower class citizens that are in ghettos and maybe might be people of color saw Obama as the same answer.
Absolutely, but again, sure, there was a record amount of black people that voted, but there was plenty of white people that voted for him
Exactly.
too. There's
I
plenty
did.
of poor people that'll vote. Exactly.
I
anyone
did.
In that situation.
You want to know why? Because everybody said, "Oh, look, this might be our answer out." The thing is if we keep sitting here butting heads, we're never getting the fuck out.
No, you're never gonna look towards the actual problem.
Because the thing is we might have 85% that we share intellect and we share understanding of certain situations and understanding of different situations that some people might not understand. And we've seen this in our friend group. We've seen this in a lot of people. If you share 85-90% of the same intelligence and there's 10% change in between what you believe, then you can be in a room together. Stop using the divisiveness of that 10% and butting heads with people. Use the 90% of understanding of what the fuck we're dealing with and push forward. Stop pushing people away.
Exactly. I don't have to agree with 100% of your beliefs, but that doesn't, I'm not going to look down upon the 90% of things that you could teach me potentially,
Exactly.
Everyone has a point of view, doesn't make it valid or not, but it's just something else to take in, something else to consider, something else to,
exactly.
be cognizant of.
And there's that level of checking each other, especially within friend groups, especially within, like, the more people and the more diversity you have in your friend group, the more likely that person is to fucking check you if you're wrong. Or they think you're wrong, or they want to get you to fucking be intelligent on something instead of just accepting something. Like, there was so many friends in our friend group that will fucking check us. Me and you are one of them. Oh no, you're fucking wrong, man. You're being way too fucking loud and uppity because of this specific thing. Like, chill the fuck out. Like, there's a lot of that shit. Yeah, I just think it's funny.
Oh yeah, I love calling people out. I'm like, dude, this isn't a football game. I'm not wearing a red jersey. You're not wearing a blue jersey. Calm down. Like, I didn't pick a side here. I'm not, I'm fighting an idea. I'm not fighting your beliefs. Don't take it so personally.
Yeah, like, fighting a same fight just because we have slightly different ideals one way or another doesn't mean that, like, you could be pro-abortion, I could be anti-abortion. That doesn't mean 99% of our other beliefs are not fucking lined up. Like, I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
I'm not gonna get caught up in some mob mentality stuff. Here, let's get the flip side.
I wish that I knew yours. I'm not racist. I swear. With all disrespect, I don't really like you white motherfuckers. That's just where I'm at. Screaming all lives matter is a protest to my protest. What kind of shit is that?
And you know, that used to be a very, very negative thing to say and a very, very minority thing to say back when we grew up. It was all hatred was racism. All hatred was a problem. You don't hate one because of everybody. Understand
but
it's one.
Wait a second. We're around the same age.
Yeah.
It was, as children, we were taught, don't hate anybody. Everyone's
That's what
nice,
I'm
try
saying.
and be equal. But then 2001 rolled around, and it's brown people could be the butt of every joke. You can make an explosion joke about every plane, and everyone just accepted it, and we all laughed together, and ha-ha. And that breeded a culture of hate, or accepted hate, or more like targeted racism that was just acceptable to a certain extent.
But
you know?
it's like now hating white people because, this level held you down during the slavery times. That's a problem. Now you hate all white people because of that specific ideal. And that ideal hasn't changed. That ideal happened when the country was founded, not now. Same people aren't fucking here now. Like,
listen, you can't get mad at all white people for slavery, bro. Slaves were expensive. Like, I don't want to say it, but only the rich people had slaves. Again, it's a class problem. It's not a fucking race problem. People are just being directed at the wrong things and wasting their energy on certain things.
directed autism still is autism when you direct it incorrectly.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's one war you'll never
Powerful
win.
force.
The power in the word nigga is a different sin. We shouldn't say it, but we do, and that's just what it is. But that don't mean that you can say it just because you got nigga friends. Nigga. That word was originated for you to keep us under. And when we use it, we know that's just how we greet each other. And when you use it, we know there's a double meaning under. And even if I wasn't picking cotton physically, that don't mean I'm not infected by the history. My grandmama was a slave. That shit gets to me, and you ain't got no motherfucking sympathy, you.
There is no way his grandma was a slave. That dude is 20 years old, and even if even if his mom was 40 years old when she had him, that means that she was 60. His grandma would be about 80.
In the 80s. She may have very briefly been a slave.
She might have been a child slave, but that's not going to affect him directly. Like,
well, yeah, but those are still, you know, all her stories are, oh, don't be mean to the white man. The things that were taught, you know what I mean, told from her parents.
The part of it that most people don't understand, taught in fucking United States schools, is after the segregation and everything else started ending, and they started pushing black families, before they started separating them with throwing crack in fucking ghettos and everything else, they were pushing them. They were pushing them to succeed. Okay.
Yes and no. Like,
no, I understand, but I'm saying, like, there is a parity to what everybody says is the answer. That's all I'm saying, is like there is that parity there.
His grandma may have not been a slave, but she may have experienced segregation. I'm not
absolutely, I completely agree with that.
Two very different things.
Two very different parts of a different
Pussy
story.
Nigga. I'm sorry, you can never fill my life. Trying to have faith, but I never feel alright. It's hard to elevate when this country's ran by whites, judging me by my skin color and my blackness. Trying to find a job, but ain't nobody call me back yet. Now I gotta sell drugs and put food in my cabinet. You crackers ain't slick, this is all a part of your tactics. Don't talk about no motherfucking taxes.
Also, just because you weren't called back doesn't mean I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like, again,
Becky down the street more than likely is going to be called back before both of us, buddy. Yeah. I'm sorry. And if your name's Shaquan, more than likely you're going to be called back before I am. It just is what it is.
Dude, it is what it is. I had to when I applied for my job, I had to check a box. Are you a visible minority? I'm like, fuck, I guess so. Like, non-white, okay. And I'm sure, and I get diversity in fucking emails and all sorts of dumb shit at work. But
my kids are gonna have it really weird. They have white names, and they're fucking Puerto Rican.
And their genders can be filled in a box.
Like no, they're fucking Puerto Rican, but they are translucent. But they're 25% Puerto Rican.
Crazy women.
I ain't making no dough. You think you know everything, but you don't. You want to copy our slang and everything that we know. Try to steal black culture and make it your own.
Right.
Whoa. Fuck, I'm exhausted. I can't even drive without the cops trying to start shit. I'm tired of this systematic racism bullshit. All you do is false shit. This the shit that I'm false with. And you don't know shit about my people. That's what bothers you. You don't know about no fried chicken or no barbecue. You don't know about the two-step or no loose change. You don't know about no 2 chains or no Kool-Aid. You don't know. And even though Barack was half as black, You hated President Obama, I know that's a fact. You couldn't wait to get him out and put a cracker back. And then you gave us Donald Trump, and I was payback for that. I'm not racist. I never lied, but I know.
I don't think those things line up.
Man, dude, again, this is a 5-year-old video. Looking back at this, like, it doesn't need to be this racially charged. And again, aside from, I think 10% of what this character, the black character, has said applies to only black people. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no,
I think
exactly.
all the problems that have been like brought
Like,
up here are
Police
you know,
isn't just a color thing. That is definitely a class thing, because the people that are lower class will be more crass, will be more aggressive, more mentally charged because they have mental illness. Like, you have lots of problems here. And I know I'm going to be fucking chastised for saying that. There's no fucking reason not to, though. Like, that one-to-one is wrong. And then you go into and say that Trump is a problem that was created because of Obama. You wanted to put a cracker back in office because Obama was in office. No, I'm sorry. The reason that most whites wanted to put Trump specifically in office, not just a white person, Trump, and I'll talk about this because I voted for both of them. We wanted fucking free speech. We wanted the ability to say fucking retard online without you getting butthurt.
they still got butthurt though.
You still get butthurt, but guess
People still
what?
get angry about
It's
that.
still going to get hell of a lot more clicks that I say retard and be a hell of a lot more open and real than if you created content. The only reason that you might be able to create content and make a little bit more views is because you monitor to kids. That's about it. That's the
It has to
only
do with
difference.
advertisement. But just look at the way society's gone. Nobody watches TV anymore. The
Nope.
most censored thing, you know what I mean? They had to let a few more shits and fucks in on television for just to keep people's
Or
attention. at this
blood
point.
or sex.
And blood, and they have to make it as gory as possible without crossing the line because they've already lost our attention. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to go watch 7 minutes of ads and 20 minutes of a show. I'd rather sit and watch an hour and a half podcast and just listen to people talk for
Exactly.
everything it's worth. You know what I mean? The swears, the mess, the fuck ups, and everything all together.
Notice the disconnect between your culture and mine. Yeah, I praise Tupac like he was a fucking god. He was fighting for his life way before he fucking died, nigga. Die, nigga. And
That's the culture he chose. That is not a black culture thing. He chose a side for a reason. He chose the wrong side, and he died because of it.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Snoop should have died. Are we praising Snoop? Because, like, and I love Snoop, and I'm not saying that in a negative light, but if he chose to go to fucking Vegas, just like Tupac did, Snoop would be dead too.
But
He was
again,
supposed
these
to be
people
there.
that are- yeah, they rode the coattails of gangster rap that were set by the people before it. Like, the thing that happened to Snoop is the thing that happens to anyone nowadays, man. People make money so fast now that they don't need to be on the streets doing shit if they're making money doing something else, and some of them have that mindset.
And
others
90% of
don't.
them are so fake that they want to say that they are, and they still don't.
Exactly.
all you care about is money and power and being ugly, and that's the cracker within you. Hatred all in your brain and slowly start to convince you. Then you teach it to your children until the cycle continue. Blame it on Puerto Rico, blame it on OJ, blame it on everybody except for your own
OJ
race.
was a piece
blame
of
it on
shit.
black niggas and blame it on black citizens. Aim at the black businesses. I ain't saying
What?
Said he had resources, good lawyers, man. Anyway.
Like, that's the thing I hate, is they point to the worst of themselves on either side and point towards the worst of you, whatever the fuck side you are. Oh, Trump. No, sorry, Trump doesn't represent me. Tupac shouldn't represent you.
No.
Like, you choose who represents you, not me. Like, I'm sorry, that's not how it should work.
No, not at all.
I'm innocent, but I might be any day now. Treating everybody how you want in any way how. I swear North Korea about to bomb us any day now. And now I'm ducking every time I hear a fucking plane
Hasn't
now.
changed.
Shit. You know I make a lot of sense, but you just can't admit it. When Eminem went against Trump, that was the illest. Cause even though he's white, he let us know he's standing with us.
No, he did the same exact thing against George Bush. I don't think any more of this needs to be said. I think in the grand scheme of things, all of us know where the hell this song plays. What exactly happens with this song. It has led to a lot of polarization on both sides, regardless of how you listen to it. Listen to it with a open mind and understanding of the other side, not just bashing your head against the keyboard in blind hate for the other side. Don't just expect Black Lives Matter to have the best intentions for everybody, because they don't. They were a disgusting organization that embezzled millions of money. Like, it just is what it is. People called it out and they were called racist for it.
And not to mention property damage to small businesses
That were owned by black Americans.
The worst, it was black-owned businesses. Like, what the fuck?
Sounds dumb as fuck to me, but like, it is what it is. Honestly, I hope you stand with me. I stand with Token. Token stands with me. Like, that's what it is, man. Treat your neighbor as your best friend, because they may be all you got in the end, regardless of who they are or what they are. You treat everybody as an equal. We'll see you fucking next time. Check out HelloFresh. We'll see you fucking next time, boys. We'll see you fucking later.